And now to music of a different kind, and there's something of a big band revival on. A fact not lost on Mace Francis. Gathering together some of Perth's finest jazz performers, Mace formed his own big band and quickly gained a loyal following, performing all new compositions. They're ready to go, all 13 of them. So here they are, the Mace Francis Big Band.
Mace Francis, welcome to Sunday Arts. That was fantastic, seeing you guys performing up on stage.
Oh, thanks. We had a lot of fun.
Now, what compelled you in the first place to put together your own big band?
Well, I was studying at the WA Academy of Performing Arts, and once I finished, I'd studied composition, and there was no big bands to write for, so I had to start a band just to continue writing and experimenting with writing music for a big band.
And why the big band in the first place? Why that formation, I suppose?
Well, I just love the sound. I mean, Count Basie, Duke Ellington, Thad Jones, Bill Holman. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just incredible. That sound, that huge live acoustic sound is, when you see it live, it's you can't help but love it.
Of course, Australia has a really fascinating history in big bands as well. You know, the 30s and the 40s, you know, you had the Gaiety Swing Cafe in Sydney and the San Remo Ballroom in Melbourne. But what do you count as your lineage in terms of big bands, really?
Well, I mean, it started in the States. Of course, jazz started in the States, but there's been quite a tradition in Europe. The European radio orchestras and radio big bands are creating so much challenging and interesting music at the moment, and yeah, we're sort of all inspired by that. Also, you know, Australian lineage, the ABC show band. My composition teacher was Graham Lyle, who played in the ABC show band, and he was on other channels and spent a lot of time in TV. So yeah, there is that tradition.
You've just actually finished a really interesting project which is called Chinese Whispers. It's kind of a strange idea, isn't it? What happens in that one?
Yeah, it was based on a writing sort of game where authors write 200 words of music, 200 words, and then they give it to the next author. And so for this project, I picked a number of bars, 17 bars of music that the composer had to write and orchestrate for this band, and then they pass it on to the next composer. They write 17 bars, pass it on to the next. But you only get to see the 17 bars before you, never the whole piece. So it's sort of, the music sort of grows organically in a way that is different to an individual writing a whole piece of music.
The other one that I'm kind of fascinated about is that you've actually been commissioned, from what I gather, to write a history of wine called Plonk.
Yes.
Something musically, how do you go about writing about wine? Do you drink a lot of wine whilst writing?
Well, a little bit of research doesn't go astray. But yeah, it's sort of, it's still in its early stages as well. It's been performed in October.
Is it red or white?
Well, it's going to be a 3 movements, and it's going to be red, white, and rosé, and so it's going to sort of, yeah. It hasn't finished yet.
I can't wait to hear that one and have a drink to it as well. Mace Francis, thanks very much for joining us on the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
And you can catch Mace Francis and his band next Saturday night at the Albion Hotel in Cottesloe in Perth. That should be a great night.